Welcome back to another episode of On the Couch with France. Today, on the couch, not four, but unfortunately only two of the four of Deity's Muse. I will let them introduce themselves. Welcome to the show. Enjoy. And off you go, gents.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I'm Wayne from Deity's Muse. I'm the vocalist and one of the guitarists.
Good morning, my name's Alvin. I'm the bassist for Deities. I have a beer in the morning.
Yeah, you're in South Africa at the day of recording. It's still in the morning. A nice full day of recording lined up for future episodes. Thank you guys for spending the time with me this morning. And you both come from quite a distance of driving to sit on the couch with me.
Yeah, I actually saw a whole bunch of traffic lights knocked over from last night's drinking sessions that people probably did. Don't listen to getting like Uber advice or anything. Morons. Unless it was Uber drivers.
Imagine it was Uber drivers.
Can you imagine that?
Yes.
That's the
Swag.
worst.
You're home. No, your way home not safe.
Yeah.
But guys, tell us and the listeners more about who you guys are. Tell us more about, introduce your other band members also, if you don't mind.
Okay. The guys who are missing here today on this couch is our drummer, Session Pillay, and our other guitarist, Kyle Engelsman. I think Session is probably doing something like, I think he's at his mom's birthday event, so that's why he's not here. So sorry, Session. And Kyle's not here because he's the busiest guy in the band, probably. So sorry, Kyle. Anyway, we do miss you, and you should be having a beer with Alvin, yeah? We are from Alberton, south of Joburg. We've been around for close to 20 years already. Maybe we'll do a 25th anniversary thing, because we're not going to do a 20th or a 21st, it seems, because COVID.
Yeah. It's amazing how now we say COVID and we're laughing about it.
I know.
And I'm very happy that it's become to such a it's a difficult thing to say, but a light-hearted topic, because now we can kind of look back and see how much worse it was before. Whereas now, we can have smiles about it. So
it's a half and half thing, hey? Like some people, it drew a lot of positives from it. If you can, you have to at least in every situation try and draw some kind of a positive from something. And with the whole COVID thing, I think as far as music is concerned, at least I know with us in Deities, we've been writing and recording, and it's offered us a bit of time to, dig into getting more creative and not being worried about playing shows and being tight for a show. Instead, now we're just writing and recording, which means we'll be putting out an EP soon, another EP, and we're probably writing the next album at the moment. So there are positives to take from it as well, although in saying that, we've all lost a lot of people as well along the way.
Absolutely.
So it's life is about balance, man.
No, 100%. Now, but behind me on the screen, Deity's Muse brand new EP. Ennui?
Ennui, yeah.
I pronounced it correctly.
Well done.
Thanks
I'm
for.
proud.
Even I am proud. Ennui, like Henri, the football player. You, Alvin. You asked me earlier about if I watch football.
Yeah.
Right. So I just thought, are you gonna bring up Ennui? Like Terry, Ennui?
I'm not an Arsenal supporter, so
What? You're not an Arsenal supporter?
there's no reason to bring up Henry for me.
If Session decided to come and sit here in his Arsenal shirt, then he would be talking about Henri.
Yeah, exactly. So he's not. Let's not talk about Arsenal.
Talk about Aston Villa. We're
Or Man
both
United.
Aston Villa supporters.
Maybe not.
Damn it!
We never get our chance.
No, we don't. We did this interview once after we played the Bloodstock Festival in 2018, and we did this. Alvin and I actually did the interview afterwards.
Whoa! Hold on.
Yeah.
You said it so nonchalantly and so relaxed. We played Bloodstock.
Yes, we did. It was amazing.
Okay, before we carry on with this, Deity's Muse are going to tell us about Bloodstock.
Bloodstock was incredible. We were very lucky to get a slot on the Sophie Lancaster stage on a Friday morning at 11 a.m. And there's like 4 or 5 stages of Bloodstock, and this is the Sophie stage is the second stage. And we were very lucky to get a slot there, and yeah, it was amazing, man. Judas Priest and Gojira and Nightwish were the headliners, and we got to see incredible bands, and we got to play to a couple thousand people. There were some South African flags at the show. It was amazing to see, and it was weird to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning so that like your Frank Sinatra fucking deep voice like would like dissipate over the day, so you could actually sing properly.
Right,
when it's
yeah.
your show, you know. But after we played the show, you go and you do like a whole press tent interview thing with various publications. And one of the guys, I can't remember which publication he was with, but he interviewed Alvin and I after the show, and we noticed he had a tattoo, a Newcastle United tattoo on his arm.
Okay.
And then obviously the two of us start talking about Aston Villa, and that whole interview wasn't about Deity's Muse. It was about Newcastle United and Aston Villa.
It seems we're going on a trend here and going back to the football thing and not Deity's Muse.
It's terrible.
Oh, man. But yeah, Alvin, back to you, dude.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about your background in music. What do you do? What's your aspirations in music?
Well, I initially started, I was in another band before Deity's Muse. I was actually a drummer.
Okay.
I started off being a drummer, self-taught. How it all happened was I came out of high school, out of matric, took a gap year. Most people travel, do cool things. I was like, no, fuck that. I'm going to drum every day for like 7 hours.
Nice.
For a year, that's what I did. And started a band, and yeah, I absolutely loved it, man. And like the drumming was really cool. I'm very inspired by drumming. Danny Carey from Tool, is obviously one of my biggest inspirations. And then when Deity's needed a bassist, I jumped to it. I said I was going to play bass for Deity's Muse before I even realized that I don't even know how to play bass. And I bought a bass guitar the next day, and then I had to learn all their songs and learn a new instrument, and I've never looked back. But what I really like about it though is that I'm still passionate about drumming, and for me, like, the drumming and the bass goes hand in hand.
Absolutely,
Made
man.
the
It's the
transition a
foundation
lot
of your music.
easier. And I'm taking some of the ideas that I would have in drumming into my bass playing. And I feel like it works. It works. It makes it a lot easier. Look, I'm still learning all the time.
Yeah.
But having that drumming knowledge has made the transition a lot easier for me. So I'm a bassist now.
Nice. Yeah, I recently acquired myself a Ibanez 5-string bass. I can't even play 4 strings, or 3 for that matter. But yeah, that to me was a inspiration to pick up instruments again. I mean, I did drums myself for years, and yeah, it's in our family, the musical aspect of things. I mean, I've got that Tysco album behind you, which is a 1969 Tysco Del Rey, which I'm actually rebuilding to play. And I will retrain myself to play right-handed, as I am a lefty.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and you are too. Yeah. Yes. Let's talk about lefties. Lefties are besties.
Yeah. Lefty.
Yeah. So, obviously, you're left-handed. Do you just play instruments left-handed? Are you a left-hand writer?
I'm weird. Like, I play instruments left-handed. If I play cricket, then I bowl left-handed, but I bat right-handed.
Samesies.
Really?
Yeah.
And then if I play football, I can play with both of my feet.
Right.
But my right leg is probably a little bit stronger.
That is amazing. Yeah. It is exactly the same with me.
Wow.
And I'm not just saying it because we make cool content.
It's because left-handed aches, you know.
As aches, eh?
Yeah. Don't even know what we're saying. It's like, yes, left-handed aches.
Almost 25 years in the making for Deity's Muse. Right. I'm going to say we're not so young anymore. We're in the same age class. How did it start? I mean, focusing more on you.
How did it start, hey? I come from Alberton, like the whole band's from Alberton, and my first job after high school was working at a shop called CD Collections, selling music to the Alberton folk. And the vocalist from Agro was the manager of that store. And basically through his coaxing and everything, he said, well, dude, if you play guitar, start a band. And he pushed me to do it, and then pushed me to, you know, get on stage for the first time long before we were close to ready even doing it. Like our first gig ever was like in 2001 at the Alberton swimming pool. There was
Oh, wow.
300 people there. It was ridiculous. And
300 people
we
for
only
your
had
first
4
show.
songs. We only had 4 songs. I was still singing with the mic stand that was made up of a rake with bricks holding the mic stand up.
Love
You
it.
know, everything was very DIY, and we were just given this opportunity to play at the Alberton swimming pool. Do you want to do it? It's like, okay, cool. We'll try and write some songs, you know, like just off the cuff kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it started. And then eventually, you know, as you get more serious about it, and the guys that don't take it as seriously start leaving the band, and you start getting a more like a better core group together of like-minded musical individuals, that's where we are now, like almost 20 something years down the line. It's
Right.
weird.
Now, obviously, international tours. Let's talk a little bit about Turning Tricks. How did that play into Deity's Muse career? Was it something that came with the product, or tell us a little bit more about that?
No, Turning Tricks is an entirely separate entity that existed long before the band existed. It's a company that they ended up managing Sarin Gas in the early days of Sarin
That's
Gas.
it.
For like a couple of months they managed them. And when I started taking this band thing a lot more seriously, and we all decided we want to take this more seriously, we decided we needed some kind of management. And that's where the Turning Tricks thing came up.
Okay.
We just contacted Duncan and said, would you be keen on managing us?
Again, links in the description below.
There you go. So that's really where the connection is. So Turning Tricks manages Deity's Muse. Turning Tricks used to manage a bunch of bands. Some of them have just broken up. And yeah, we are still how many years down the line. So yeah, they just manage us, and they help get us shows locally. And I work for Turning Tricks as well, which is kind of convenient.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's how the music industry works, man. Like, you know, Khan from Parlotones used to work with Sovereign Entertainment, and James Monteith from Tesseract is a PR guy in the UK, and we all have our hands in like being involved in the music industry and controlling things from a way of like what it's like being in a band, you know. So when Turning Tricks does events, we like to think of it from the space of like, from a band member's perspective. What do you want?
Yeah.
You know? And I think that's what's unique about the whole thing that we do here. Yeah.
That's fantastic, man. Helping bands getting out there.
Absolutely.
Now,
man.
with you working alongside or with Turning Tricks, what is your main, shall I say, how do you help local bands most? Is it purely just management? Do you help organize tours, those kind of things?
Well, in the past, for example, we've got the Cranked Up Music Festival. So what we like to do is, and there's no disrespect to the more mainstream bands, but when an international band comes to South Africa, you kind of get the same bands opening for them, you know, like say you'd get a Prime Circle opening for a big international band.
Yeah.
And, you know, oftentimes, say for example, you'd bring a Metallica and they get like a Fork-Off Polisica to open for them. No disrespect to Fork-Off.
No, absolutely.
But, you know, Metallica, we've got a shit ton of metal bands who would love to do that show. And that's where Turning Tricks and Cranked Up steps in and goes, well, we'd like to bring some heavy bands here and pair them with our heavy bands that don't get the opportunity to do this. And so there's a good upliftment for local bands to see their heroes up close and personal, get to meet the guys and actually, you know, network with the guys. And do things. On the other side of the coin, we've also organized tours for Oak God from Cape Town.
Yeah.
They did a
Fantastic
tour
prog
with Ginger.
band.
Yeah, great band. They did a tour with Ginger. We organized that for them. We actually, with Ginger as well, we organized Face in the Gallows, did 2 shows of Ginger 2 years ago as well in Germany.
Okay.
So we try and help wherever anyone is keen. If you have a good product and you work your ass off and your heart is in it, and you come to us and you say you would like the help, we are happy to use our contacts to make it happen.
Yeah.
As long as it serves everyone. And that's where it is, man.
Man, that's power right there. Helping. That's what it's all about, and helping bands get out there, the exposure and the opportunities. So well done, Turning Tricks, and you, Wayne, also. And now, pass that microphone over to Mr. Zamalek.
My turn.
Alvin, dude, what music other than Tool
Yeah.
inspires you? I mean, what can we see? Like, for instance, what will you, as well as Deity's Muse as a whole, what will you guys, what will we find in your music collection?
Okay, well, me as an individual, I can say that I'm listening to a few different things. I've recently, and people are going to hound me for this, but I only like the recent Deftones stuff.
Okay.
So I've been listening to a lot of the Deftones from Koi no Yokan from there. Never really been into the stuff before that. No disrespect to them. I understand why people like them.
Yeah.
I like the simplicity of what they do. They're playing, their stuff is so huge, and it's just, it's not too complicated. They hit the right notes, they feed off each other, and I'm enjoying that. Another band that I'm liking is a band called Thank You Scientist.
Not heard of it.
A little bit weird,
Okay.
like kind of all over the place. They've kind of got like a Coed and Cambria feel,
Oh, okay.
but more. There's a lot of like trumpets and weird things in the background that they just add in. Also a lot of groove, weird time signatures, and
Okay.
so I'm enjoying that stuff. And then Tesseract, I've been listening to a lot of Tesseract. There's a new Muse that just came out, and I haven't heard it yet.
I've
really,
not.
really,
New
really
Muse
want to.
at the recording date today is,
Heavy, yeah.
I don't know what the date is, but
Metal riffage.
Yeah.
I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, and then going a little bit heavier, Opeth and Mastodon.
So you really like that, the progressive time signatures.
Absolutely. And I tend to, and I think most people in like our scene, our genre of music goes back a little bit and listens to older stuff. Chimera, the self-title.
Oh, nice.
I
Nice.
know I've been listening to that like the last week.
Okay.
Going back to it, and I remember, I think it was Mark Hunter, or whoever was from Chimera. That's like their least favorite album, which
Oh,
is like
really?
the oddest thing, because that's like my favorite album of theirs.
Yeah.
Weird, eh?
Yeah, it is weird. So it's up and down. I like listening to stuff that's very heavy, but I like stuff that's unique, that stands out. So it doesn't matter if it's a heavy band or if it's a band that's more chilled or whatever, but there needs to be something that separates them from the others that sound like them.
Right.
And this all just comes from personal taste. So like, yeah, Thank You Scientist, Deftones, Mastodon, Chimera. That's what I'm listening to at the moment.
Okay. Meshuggah?
Sugar,
Yeah.
I haven't heard for a while. I
Okay.
do like their stuff. I haven't heard. I need to go back and listen to
okay.
it again,
Alright.
because I haven't heard their stuff in a while. Yeah,
Okay. Fantastic.
but it's a good comparison. It's the exact type of music that I would listen to anyway. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
And what do you think the rest of the band shares the same sentiment when it comes to those bands?
For the most part, yeah, I think everyone will like the same stuff. What's nice about like with us is that we've all got different tastes of music, and we all push it onto each other, and not like forcing it. Like, oh, you will like this.
You will like the new
Yeah,
Gojira album.
Yeah, but
like,
like we've all got pretty similar tastes, I suppose. I think Sash and our drummer's into a little bit different stuff. He tends to veer off a lot into more sometimes electronic stuff, a little bit of hip hop, I suppose. And what I like about it is that we're all kind of into different stuff. So when we're writing, we're inspired by different things. We bring different ideas into our writing process. So I will be listening to something heavy that week, or stuck into something heavy. Session will be listening to something that's more like on the hip hop side that he's feeling at that moment. And when we bring that all together, we've all got different ideas from different angles. and I like that. I like mixing ideas around.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel. What you listening to at the moment, Wayne?
I'm all over the place at the moment. Last week, I just couldn't stop listening to Budgie. Rest in peace, Berg Shelley. Rest in peace, buddy.
Not a lot of
what a
people
legend.
know of Budgie. I recently, when I say recently, in 2019, that was the first time I heard about Budgie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Dig it, absolutely.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
and Donovan.
Our dad, like, we grew up listening to Budgie. You know, listening to Budgie in the car on the way to like a football match or something.
Right, yeah.
You know? So that's what we used to do.
So you guys also had a bunch of records and
Yeah.
did your dad, if I may ask, did your dad did he invest in records? Was that something growing up with you?
Yeah,
Spinning Budgie records and
one of
others?
my earliest memories of playing any vinyl is the Doors' LA Woman, which I didn't know what the Doors sounded like. I went to the Alberton library and I took out John Densmore's biography called Riders on the Storm.
Okay.
And I read about this band called The Doors. And I was like, this is ridiculous. This whole story is crazy. What do they sound like? And then I discovered my dad had the vinyl. And I hooked up the vinyl player and started listening. And I fell in love with the band immediately. I'm like, wow, it sounds like I imagined in the book's description what they sounded like. And yeah, that's my earliest memory of playing vinyl is The Doors' LA Woman. But then again, going back to like stuff that I listened to, this week was all Budgie. But like last week was all like the new Converge and the new who else am I listening to? Emma Ruth Rundle and Mastodon as well. The new album is really, it's a grower.
Okay.
And I'm all over the place as well. Sometimes I go through jazz phases and then I go through like folk phases and then I go to electronic music only, you know.
Okay.
So all over the place.
That's a great broad spectrum of music that you guys listen to. And moving on and back to Ennui. Is it still on behind me?
Yeah.
What is this?
This is a video called Sleep Escape, which we filmed one afternoon.
Look, there's Wayne.
We had to time it to get the sun going down at the right time because we wanted a sunset shoot.
Okay.
And we knew we only had 2 hours to film this video in. So we rushed to get there, set everything up and started filming with a drone. And it's from our previous, not this new EP, but the previous one called Lungs Full. And it's one of the singles from that.
Fantastic. On Ennui, how many tracks? Tell us a little bit more about the
yeah,
EP.
it's 4 songs. Recorded 90% of it in lockdown. So we got a bunch of recording gear and stuff. I recorded all the vocals at home when we were all locked down and everything. We worked with Clint Vincent from Dead Letter Circus. He's produced our last 3 releases now.
Oh, wow.
And he'll be doing the next one as well. Probably the next one after that as well, if I think about it.
You that happy?
Yeah, no,
I
we
can
just
see
work
why.
so
I
well.
can hear why.
Yeah, it's cool because, you know, like in the past, it used to be a thing of we would write in the band room and then we'd be like, cool, I think everything sounds great. Let's book a studio and then we go and record. Now we do it differently. Now we record our writing sessions. We go over each part. We send files back and forth to each other before we even send it over to Australia. And then everything gets over to Australia. And sometimes we get it all back saying, listen, you need to work on this. You need to work on that. It needs this part. It needs that. Or we just get an entire mix done and gone like, hey, it all works perfectly. No changes or anything.
Right.
So we work really well with Clint.
Fantastic, man. And with Ennui being out, where can people get your music? I'm not going to touch on Spotify today. I've overrun that whole spiel of how much I hate Spotify.
Okay.
So we're not going to hate Spotify today for too long.
Yeah.
But where do people buy your music?
Bandcamp.
Yes.
You can buy it on Bandcamp. You can actually buy it on Amazon. It's on Amazon, on Apple Music. You can purchase it if you don't have one of the subscription deals that you have with Apple Music. You could purchase it directly if you want to. Download it, delete it, download it again, delete it, stream it, play it as many times as you want. Play it in the background, share it from whatever platform you want. You know, even if you have a free version somewhere, whatever, just spread the music.
Absolutely, man. And before I forget, which I just forgot what I want to ask. Deity's Muse merchandise. Ooh. Yeah, I know where the merchandise went or is. That's why it's not here today. But also Bandcamp, yes. What can people look at? Do
we
you do
must
cap shirts?
actually upload some stuff there. We will start doing that. With this whole COVID thing, it's been a nightmare. Like, we sell so much more merch when we're on tour than when we're not. So it really helps. It goes hand in hand, being on the road and on people's minds all the time, to actually sell merch.
Yeah.
And for the last 2 years, with no real funds coming in, it's been a bit challenging.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's hope when things get back to normal, we can get our Bandcamp merch side up. But as far as new music is concerned, that is quite easy because we're able to at home record things and send things over, and that's where our focus is at the moment. When we start touring again, there'll be a whole bunch of new merch.
All right, fantastic. Now, when you talk merch, are we looking shirts, caps? Do you do shorts, coasters? Cups.
Eventually, we'd like to do stuff like that. At the moment, it's just shirts.
Give me a second. I'll be back in a moment. You guys can speak to the camera some more.
Okay. Alvin, what do you want to say?
Aston Villa's going to beat Man United tonight.
Calm down.
Please don't jinx it. Touch wood.
Yeah, I know. As confident as I feel, I don't feel confident about it.
No. You know why? Because they'll probably get like some way of cheating their way into another goal.
I wonder if my editor is much of a football fan.
Who knows?
I hope he's a Man United fan.
Like I am.
Ah, you see. Now it comes out. You stay
Interesting
close to the
story.
Emirates Stadium, but you're a Man United fan.
I work next to Tottenham in the UK also. So, just being back right now, this is prime example of fantastic merchandise.
Yes.
If ever I can ask you guys to bring out cups, mugs.
Those are very cool. We
Chrome
will do
Neon
that.
Jesus, I don't know how far this is from the camera. Chrome Neon Jesus by Ethel Ether, Karaoke Machine of Death. Two of my favorite cups to drink out of. Just plugging them too. But, yes, I think cups, hats. I mean, I'm a hat kind of guy.
Yeah.
Snapback. I've even seen some local bands like Chaos Doctrine doing pants, like shorts or okkies, okkie lang, okkie kort.
Okay,
You know?
yeah.
What other avenues do you explore with merchandise?
I have another thing that we're doing, which we will do now, given the country that we're in and how pathetic our government systems seem to be at the moment, is the license discs that we have.
Mm-hmm.
We have these little license discs with the band logo at the back. So
Okay.
you just slip your license disc in there. When you can finally get your license renewed,
And not standing in
you know,
queues for a
not
million
sitting in queues
hours.
for hours, then we'll put those up on Bandcamp and you can purchase them from our Bandcamp. I don't know how much they're going to be, but that's something that we're working on at the moment.
Cool. That's also another little niche
There's
kind
something
of thing. And I used to do it, and people that rent cars from First Car Rental, I used to stick France the Planet stickers on that disc in the rental vehicles. Just, it's brand sharing, and I don't think I'll offend anyone by doing that. But yes.
We got all of these stickers from our last UK tour. We printed a whole bunch of shirts, and I didn't know that you get all these cool little round stickers with them. So essentially, these license discs are basically us buying license discs and just
slapping it
putting
on
the
there.
stickers on there. So why not?
That's
You know?
fantastic, man. And most people here in South Africa have cars. Well, a lot more than what would in the UK, for instance.
Absolutely.
So it's always there in your face. And even if you're not a Deity's Muse fan, you can gift it.
Yeah.
To someone else that might be or needs to hear Deity's Muse and needs to have
I'm
it in
pretty
their
sure you're
forefront the
more
whole
of a
time.
Deity's fan than a Hollard Insurance fan. I mean, fuck.
Or SA Postal Service. Oh man, guys! Before wrapping it up, from your side, Alvin, is there anything else you'd like to add? Man, give us some shout outs. Do you guys have endorsements, those kind of things?
Well, in terms of shout-outs, I suppose some of the bands, the friends that we know that we've been playing with for a while. I know you got.
We miss you guys. We haven't played with you guys in years.
Oh man, we haven't. Yeah, exactly. We haven't played in we played 3 shows recently in October. This last October was Springbok Noodles and Wonderboom. Shout out to them. They were such cool guys.
They were cool.
They were awesome, man.
They just did a Cape Town tour with Praise the Loud.
The Springbok Noodles, yeah.
Oh no! Sorry, I'm thinking of Wonderboom.
Oh, it could be
Yeah.
Wonderboom. I don't know. Could be. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But like, on my side, I was just so excited with those shows because obviously we wanted to play again because we haven't been playing because of COVID and everything. But just being on stage with legends like Wonderboom and Springbok Noodles, it's awesome. And I grew up with those guys. I grew up listening to those guys, and it was refreshing because they were such professionals and so respectful and nice. We got on with absolutely every single one of them. Every night was awesome. It was like we became friends with them, and that's what you want from shows. You know, we're all in this together.
Absolutely.
You know, like push each other, be nice to each other, and that's what makes the show magic.
Yeah. Down with self-entitlement.
Exactly, man. And so yeah, we just want to play more shows, and we know that you've got some of our mates coming up next. Hokum.
Yeah. Hokum!
So shout out to them. We've been chatting about state dependency earlier, so shout out to them.
Yeah, they were supposed to be here today for recording, but unfortunately, due to certain circumstances and timelines, unfortunately, they're not.
Look, Aiden's always late for things. So if you're going to book him, make sure that it's a day before.
But it's actually probably better that they're not here because then the interview will probably be like 4 hours long.
Yeah, it's like
Which is fine. I just need a
We
bigger
probably
freaking
wouldn't have
couch.
even started. Yeah. But yeah, those are the shout outs I can give in terms of endorsements. Maybe Wayne can run you through some of the endorsements.
Thanks, Alvin.
Endorsements. We have no endorsements.
That's our boss.
Wayne can run you through some endorsements. I'd like to thank my mom and dad for helping us in the early days and still making us use the band room that we have in their house, which is cool. So thank you for endorsing that.
Come to think about it, it is an endorsement.
Yeah, it is an endorsement.
is.
What other endorsements? That's about it, really.
Beard oil. I mean,
No.
I didn't even touch Wayne's beard oil on his beard.
I have beard oil, which I buy. So if there's anyone who would like to do things about that, like, you know, hit me up.
Maybe some Buffelsfontein baardolie.
I'll say, man, you're
Lekker.
rove bliksem. I can even do it correctly. So there's my audition for that stuff.
I think
Yeah,
that's
hell.
I think that's like the perfect endorsement. Like we're getting old.
We're getting old.
You know, like for me the perfect endorsement for the band would be like
Adult diapers.
like socks, underwear, like shower gel.
Imagine, but you can. I mean, I'm a big coffee lover, and there's a whole bunch of companies now importing coffee from really respective coffee beaneries, and sticking their own label on it. So why not do a Deity's Muse one?
Yeah, there are roasters here that do it.
Absolutely.
Craft beer. I mean, there's so many
Death
things.
Springer, you'll see some of my stickers from Death Springer. Vakantie Coffee and Red Death, it's two of their craft beers.
Okay,
Yeah.
very cool. Yeah, we'll come up with something interesting, something new, something huge, something Kajunga. Something.
Kajunga.
Yeah. Who knows, man? We just want to get back into playing live again.
Yeah.
You know, but that will happen. At least in the meantime, we're just being creative, writing and recording, making the most use of the time that we have at the moment.
Right. I know Ennui is still fresh. Any like timeline for the next EP, perhaps album or single?
There will be from Ennui. There's still another music video coming. So we still have a bit of legs in this recording. At the moment, we're busy writing what that's going to turn into. We already have most of the next EP probably written, and parts of what might turn into another album. So we have a whole bunch of things floating around. As far as the timeline is concerned, it's always difficult to plan anything in this day and age. But maybe with a push, we could get the next EP out midway through this year. We'll see how it goes.
Fantastic.
You know, but that's with some real effort and putting our heads together. But that being said, we do have a whole bunch of ideas floating around. It's just coordinating all of them and actually piecing them together finally.
Hundreds. Fantastic. Alvin, Wayne, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you and coming all the way out to the West Rand of Johannesburg.
Thanks for the coffee and the chat, man. It was
Yeah,
very
cool. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, all links below when they send it to me. From Turning Tricks to the band, all the social media links, you'll find it down below if you want to do a quick... be the force. Say that.
to infinity and beyond.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's myself, Franz the Planet, with Deity's Muse on the couch. Keep it heavy, and remember, let metal shape you. Cheers now.
Unless I'm dreaming, hits me like a